Overpopulation, war, resource shortages, environmental pollution. These are not the only global problems facing humanity. It's time to find a new home in the universe. For many years, Mars has been considered the most promising candidate. Elon Musk is preparing a spacecraft to start colonizing Mars. However, a dark horse suddenly narrowed the gap with the first candidate. Hello everyone. Catching up is Saturn's satellite Titan. But Mars doesn't seem to be planning to give up its position. This colonial struggle is reaching its climax. Do you want to see what's going on? This is the Top Gen channel. Don't waste your precious time. Please take a seat in the front row. Required tuition. It looks like there are two talented players in the bench department. One is Mercury. Although this planet is very willing to participate in the competition, but the chance of that is very small. Because Mercury is so close to the Sun. Humanity may be burned to ashes by the heat wave in an instant. Or maybe it's because of the coldness of the other hemisphere that it turns into hard icicles. First, this planet has been. Neither was considered a candidate for colonization. But later I found, this isn't such a bad place. The climate in Mercury's polar regions is relatively stable. There may even be ice sheets. This means there is water. So this is a place that maintains a constant temperature and has standing water. It should be an ideal country for settlers. There is not only plenty of solar energy in the sky, there are also a lot of mineable ores underground. Most importantly, for settlers, there are still some advantages in the local area. The planet's gravity is 38% that of Earth. Looks okay. As for the magnetic field, although it is only about 1% of the Earth's, but it can still block some of the solar wind and cosmic radiation. Protect residents to a certain extent. In addition, the space probe Messenger, let's take note of some parts of this planet. Like Swiss nectar, has many holes. The cave on Gunlu is a unique underground lava cave. If you colonize these lava caves, this should protect residents from solar radiation and the effects of extreme temperatures. The second contestant in the tutorial is Jinshi. Although it is located far from the Sun, but this place is no different from the region. Venus looks like a red-hot frying pan. At a temperature of 467 degrees, anything can be baked in a flash. However, even in such a nightmare world, there are also places where conditions are similar to those on Earth. If we want to develop this area, all you need to do is build a giant spaceship. Sent high into the clouds. As long as you rise to an altitude of about 50 to 60 kilometers, colonists will find the facility's temperature range of 80 degrees to minus 30 degrees relatively comfortable. You can also find places with 2 to 0.2 atmospheres of pressure. This is a great engineering project, but the cost is unimaginable. More advanced technology is needed. So for now, Mercury and Venus are left alone. Mars versus Earth E6. Now we want to turn our attention to another area. Mars has already hit the first ball here. It's a simple but effective strike. That is size and quality. Mars, the red planet, is a much larger celestial body than Earth. However, in this case, size is not that important. 2U is just a little bit smaller than Mercury, so there is enough space for everyone on Earth anyway. But quality is another issue entirely. Mass affects gravity. The gravity on Mars is only about 1/3 of that on Earth. This will also create many obstacles for colonization. This is because if the colonists stay in a low-gravity environment for too long, health will soon begin to deteriorate. So what about the Earth E6? The satellite's gravity is only 1/7 of Earth's. So the situation we are facing is even more severe. At this point, Mars' advantage is definitely ahead of Saturn's satellites. The next balloon also comes from Mars. That is distance. Mars sometimes comes very close to Earth. The distance between the two is about 55 million kilometers. On the other hand, Titan 6 is located 1.2 billion kilometers from Earth. That is, it is 22 times farther away than Mars. It looks like flights to Mars will be cheaper because it requires less fuel. Moreover, due to long-term exposure to solar wind and cosmic radiation, the long journey to Titan, it may cause greater harm to the health of passengers. Lack of gravity on a spacecraft can weaken bones. It can also damage people's heart and circulatory system functions. Then Mars defeated the Earth E6. Is the outcome already determined? No, Tuvalu will fight back. That's the atmosphere and the pressure. The decisive blow of Tuvalu was a soft landing. This is considered the most difficult phase of the flight. A soft landing on Mars would be extremely difficult, and it requires additional engines and fuel. And landing on Tuvalu should only require the use of a parachute. All this is because Tuvalu has a dense atmosphere. 90% of Earth's atmosphere is made up of nitrogen and hydrocarbons. This condition ensures that it will not be affected by meteorites and radiation. In addition, the atmospheric pressure of this satellite is also suitable. The atmospheric pressure of Earth's sixth atmosphere is about 1.5 atmospheres. It's quite comfortable for humans. In this part, Earth E6 can push Mars aside. The atmospheric pressure on Mars is only 0.6% of Earth's. The atmosphere itself is extremely thin, and there are many holes. Not only is it difficult to land, it will not be able to protect the colonists from radiation or meteorites. Without a reliable spacesuit, it's impossible to survive on Mars. On the Tuvalu, you only need an oxygen tank and protective clothing. But what about temperature? This is the weakness of Titan. According to the calculation results of scientists, the temperature on Titan 6 can drop to unimaginable levels. World, 180 degrees. The surface of Mars is usually 3 times this hot. Temperature gives Mars a great chance to catch up. But Titan is a pretty savvy competitor. I will never give in. Scientists say there is a high probability that there is an area covered by fog on Titan. This phenomenon can moderate the cold weather. The Huygens space probe landed in one of the bodies of water and took some photos there. The above shows the haze of methane gas. Settlers will be able to live on the banks of these rivers and lakes, create a new mist colony. So where do we get the resources we need to build a colony and live there peacefully? This is one of the most important situations in this game. What kind of cards will both sides reveal? Mars and Earth have ample ice caps, since there is no oxygen in the atmosphere of either planet. So first we will use the ice sheets to produce the vital oxygen. According to past sayings, sulfur, calcium, aluminum, chromium, sodium, iron, and even gold should be mineable on Mars. However, according to the latest research by American scientists, Mars actually has far fewer resources than we have imagined so far. But at this point, Tuvalu is in a more difficult situation. First of all, we don't know anything about the metal on the Tuvalu 6. However, there should be a lot of hydrocarbons in Tuvalu. This compound is very suitable for making plastics. In terms of resources, Earth E6 is part of the Saturn system. The Saturn system has 146 satellites. These satellites contain metal. Saturn itself is the source of helium-3. Helium-3 is a high-quality fuel for nuclear reactors. If we consider it from this point of view, we can say that Earth Flavor 6 has more resources than Mars. An equally important part is movement and resource extraction on the surface of Tuvalu. Actually, there is no danger. This is not the case on Mars. This is because of the weathering layer. The so-called regolith is dust composed of particles of different diameters. These two bodies are covered by a layer of regolith. Regolith can be as sharp as shards of glass, can easily damage internal organs, equipment, and spacesuits. Most of Mars' regolith is made up of these dangerous particles. The weathering layer of Tuvalu has smooth edges, so the settlers can take a leisurely stroll on the Tuvalu as they please. Now let's move on to the final. That's a leisurely walk on holiday. The emotion of being touched is of great help in replenishing the spiritual nutrition of the settlers. At this point, Mars is lagging behind. There are endless orange hills and plains everywhere. There are also craters covered with regolith. At first, the view may seem impressive, but you will soon get bored. On the other hand, you can see a variety of special attractions in Tuvalu. People can enjoy the picturesque mountains, peaceful walks through canyons and ravines, or relax on the shores of oceans and lakes filled with liquid hydrocarbons. Looks good, right? Methane snow is falling from the sky. Methane rain will also fall. The gravity in this world is very weak. Rain and snow fall very slowly, so the settlers will be able to feel every particle that falls from the sky. After the rain, people who live there might even see a rainbow in the earthy sky. Those who like to engage in aerial activities will definitely be very happy. If you wear a regular flying suit for skydiving, you can fly in the sky as you like. NASA planetary scientist Amanda Hendricks said, "From the overall point of view, Tuvalu can be said to be an ideal place for colonization. This is supported by a new study by an international team of scientists. In fact, compounds indicating the presence of life have been found on the surface of soil. If there are really living things there, we can become their neighbors." So what about Mars? Mars also showed a good performance in this competition. We believe that some of these viewers are fully supporting Mars. At least we have different options. When choosing a new hometown, don't you think this is a very important point? If you like this video, be sure to like and share it on social media with your friends and family. Thank you so much. It's time to say goodbye again. Let's look forward to the next video together. Bye bye.